they were talking about religion, but they were talking about how Isaac Newton's all his Principia, which is his main work, calculus, all the things he invented. That was Newton, who was highly religious, trying to formulate God's work mathematically, scientifically, or whatever. But he wasn't choosing science to show that God didn't exist. He was using science to formulate how God's great gifts work, basically. So he was saying gravity is a function of something that God, and this is how it works. Speed, acceleration is a function of how God, the physics that God has imbued on us, and this is how it works, basically. Then obviously that was in the kind of 18th century. I think Newton was 1700s, 18th century. Then of course the 19th century saw Darwin. You're exactly where I'm heading here. Saw Darwin, and Darwin again, there was science there, but his science actually started to precipitate a destruction of religion in terms of people started to question whether their beliefs and their behaviours were, and that again we believe precipitated the First World War, the Second World War, or whatever. I think the question I've got here for you, with this again, we're going back to Trump, and I apologise for keeping going back to Trump. When Trump was shot, people have started talking openly about divine intervention with Trump and God, and this is everybody praying for him and all that sorts of stuff. And I've talked about the fact that I regard myself as a Christian, even though I don't particularly believe in God, and I've been going to church and things like that. Is religion returning? And sorry, just to temper this, we also see the massive rise of Islam in the West now as well, coming along at the same time. So that, along with the things we're seeing around Trump and the response, is religion making a comeback now?
I would say yes.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm not saying it's Christianity, but religion is making a comeback, and I think it's because we need religion in our lives. The world's too complicated for us to make any sense of it unless we have guidance, and that guidance is usually religion. Christianity, the big mistake Christianity made was it started trying to be the religion for the individual, such as, oh, you can get married if you've been divorced, or we want to keep you in the church, so we'll make the church as pink and fluffy as possible to keep you in the church. And the more they did that, the more people went, the church offers me nothing. People go to church and want religion for guidance, for rules. They may not always obey those rules, but they want rules. I've worked for decades with children. Children excel when they have rules and boundaries. They may not like those rules and boundaries, but once they realise there's rules and boundaries and they test you and know they can't be broken, they then realise they're safe where they are, and then they can explore other things and will do other things. But when they know there's no boundaries, well, it's limitless what they can do, so they explore everything. So that's what we need religion for, to contain us, constrain us, and to try to quell down some of the animalistic evil thoughts we have sometimes. That's why one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not covet your neighbour's ox, and all these things, because these were the things we knew was a problem within tribes, within communities. Islam is offering young men in the West what Christianity used to offer them. Structure, hierarchy, rules, something to belong to, something to be proud to belong to. Islam is a warrior religion, and Christianity has lost all that. Accelerated by technology, but then accelerated by the introduction of female priests, then accelerated with acceptance of LGBTQ rubbish, and you'd imagine if there you'd imagine if there was a devil, you think he's in charge of the Christian church, because he's killing it all over the more developed countries of the West. So it is coming back because people need it. People are lost, people are unhappy, people are depressed. 20% of women in the UK take antidepressants. Our lives, we've got more and more stuff, we've got more and more money, we've got less and less serious problems, and we're all more and more unhappy. And religion will be the way that we tick that box.
People are looking for something. I mean, I think you're right about Islam. Islam offers something to people, certainly young people. I don't, obviously, some of the tenets of Islam I find horrific. They're the way they are about treating women and things like that. But I understand why it's attractive. But I also think that the rise of Islam is generating an increased interest in religion on the non-Islamic side, if you like, the Judeo-Christian side, basically. I think that is seeing a revival. Not necessarily the churches, I don't think that's particularly it, but just people's general belief. I mean, there was a clip when Trump got shot, and it was a Mexican or Latino woman in America, and her kid said, "Mom, Trump's been shot," and she said, Trump's been shot. No, I need to light a candle for his. She said, "Is he okay?" She said, "He's not dead." She said, "I'm going to light a candle for him. I'm going to light a candle." And she went and ran, and it was a clip on the internet. I don't know if you saw it. And I thought, wow, she's she was younger than I am. I would say probably in her 50s or something, 40s or 50s. Went and lit a candle. I know the South Americans are more religious than sort of. But I thought, this is the way people are thinking now about Trump, the Trump shooting, about God looking after him, and then lighting a candle for him and all that sort of stuff. There was another scene I saw where Trump was in a takeaway, and the woman said, "Can I pray for you?" Trump kind of gave her his hand, and she literally prayed for him across the counter. And you're starting to get a sense there is this. He's not particularly religious, Trump, is he? I don't think.
But America is more religious than the UK. Some churches in this country are doing really well. Some of the Black African churches, I forgot what they're called now.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, and some of the ones
Christian Scientists.
The ones where they do a lot of singing and stuff.
Evangelists.
Yeah. So some of those churches in this country are packed out every Sunday. It's a Church of England that's dying and needs to be put out of its misery. Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers, I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.